You said you wanted to be called Cal or
Just Cal's fine, yeah.
just Cal? Okay.
Just Cal. Like just Cal as in like JUST space Cal. Just Cal.
Just Cal.
Cal.
Your first name is just Cal. Like JUSTCAL.
Yeah. JK.
Tis a joke.
People would be like, "Oh, this is Cal." No, it's just Cal. That's why I said Cal. No, just Cal.
That is what you said. That's not what I said. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Amityville Nimrods. You're joined here today with me, Ruby, and my co-host Cal.
It's just
It's
Cal.
just Cal. JUSTCAL.
KAL. God, common
KAL.
spelling with these folks.
KALJUSTIN.
Yes. Don't ask me about my last name. It's Polish, but it looks like somebody face planted the keyboard with D's and Z's.
In 1974, Robert DeFeo killed his entire family while residing in the neighborhood of Amityville. The terrifying story spread, and people did what people do best. Realize that the name is under fair use and make 1,000 low-budget movies to capitalize on those who buy $5 DVDs on a whim. These two Canadian assholes were the perfect victims and bought every single one. For your sake, you better tune into the Amityville Nimrods.
Hey, Terrifier 2 is now on Tubi.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. I'm looking right at it.
I have to finish watching the first one.
I still gotta watch All Hallows Eve.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's part of it.
Yeah, there's like two of those, and then this is funny because I was talking to a guy at work, and he kept asking if I seen Terrifier 2, if I watched Terrifier. And the second one came out, and I was like, no man, I was wanting to watch the first ones, like All Hallows Eve. He's like, oh, you mean like the first Terrifier? I'm like, no, the ones before that. Yeah, Terrifier. I'm like, no, All Hallows Eve. And he like, I don't think he heard me the first two times. I had to say it again. I'm like, no, that's I have to lay it out. I was like, okay, there's these movies that came out before, like way before, that use the same character, Art the Clown, and they're called All Hallows Eve, but I've never seen them. And then he's like, oh, I didn't know that. And I was like, no, this character's not new. He's been around for a bit, but.
So there's actually, I looked into it too, All Hallows Eve 2 doesn't have Art the Clown.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's weird.
Only the first one?
But there's also a film that came out before All Hallows Eve that
You're
has
kidding.
Art the Clown.
There's the Moy goes back even further.
There's 4 Terrifier movies. Let me check again. Art the Clown.
Wait. Holy fuck.
The Ninth Circle. Okay, so
What the hell is what is that?
there's 2 short films, The Ninth Circle and Terrifier.
Oh, okay, you know what? That explains a lot.
And then All Hallows Eve, and then the actual Terrifier movies.
Nice.
And
Yeah, there's quite a
3.
There's a lot of movies that start off as like short segments, like Autopsy of Jane Doe was a short film. Napoleon Dynamite, Saw. You ever notice how Tubi just seems to have? Oh my god, Autopsy of Jane Doe's on Tubi. Why the fuck did I buy this movie again? Paid $30 for a Blu-ray copy because I took it off Shutter.
$30?
Yeah, I mean it's a good cover. Like it's a slip cardboard cover. She's like nude on the table, and when you slip the cover, then it's like her opened up, like her chest and chest cavity and shit.
The whole movie is these 2 guys being like, this lady's definitely dead. Or is she?
Honestly, that's, you know what? That should be the synopsis. Fuck, we should do that. We just come up with funny, like short one-liner, funny synopsis one-liners for like movies. That's perfect. Like ones where you might not understand until you've seen the movie, and then you're like, okay.
Nobody's gonna get this one. Nothing's ever gonna sink this ship. Or will it? And then just iceberg.
Like Daybreakers can be like if there were a shortage of sunscreen or something. I don't know.
Tinted windows have more than one purpose?
It was a good vampire flick. I never understood those vampire flicks where you have that main villain that wants to like convert the world into being a vampire society. I'm just thinking like, wouldn't that be a horrendous idea? That's like if you just had the majority of the population of like Africa just being lions. It just wouldn't go well like, for anybody. First off, if you're a gazelle, it's fucking terrifying. Second, if you're a lion, you're just basically suffering like the equivalent of like withdrawal symptoms where you're just hungry and pissed all the time. It was basically like us during the pandemic. I guess that's kind of like Daybreakers.
I was just thinking about that the other day. Everyone was like forced to wear masks like less than 2 years ago.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't understand why a lot of people said like that the masks did fuck all, because I'm just like, have you not had people spit on your face when they talk? Because I'm guilty of that too. If I get really excited, usually from a distance, I never go right up into someone's face. But I had so many people, people that may be hard of hearing with like a loose tongue, and they come right up into your face, they're talking, and they trickle spit. I've had that for as long as I could remember. So I was kind of relieved with the whole mask thing, just for that aspect of the customer service part of my job.
Oh no, I agree 100%. Like I didn't get sick. I got sick like once during that whole time.
Honestly, I didn't get sick. That was the longest I went without like catching anything. And I mean like zip, like no cold, no sniffles, no sore throat, like anything. For like over a year, it was weird. I was like, huh, this has never happened before. Usually you do. I was actually getting concerned because I figured usually your body does just to kind of, with the change of season and, kind of refreshing your immune system or whatever. But yeah, no, I guess all the sanitizing and wiping things down actually made a difference for a while.
Yeah, no, like when I say once too, it was like I never, like you said, I never got a cold or anything. What happened was one day I think I picked up a 12-pack and then drank the entire thing. And I was like, that won't be an issue. And then I had to like wake up for like a 7 a.m. shift too.
What the fuck?
So like all night I was dreaming about puking and everything. And then when I woke up, I was like, well, time to get ready for work. So I ran into the washroom, puked my brains out. And I was like, yep, that was a shitty decision of me. But I guess I won't ever do that again. And then I go to work. And I puke again at work, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm still a little hungover. It didn't stop from there.
Oh, no.
So, like, 3 hours into my shift, I was like, okay, well, I'm going home because I can't stop puking. And then I went home, puked again, and then slept for the rest of the day. And then, like, for the next couple days, I was still sick. And then, like, a week after that, I didn't have an appetite. It's like,
Jesus.
I started thinking I was just hungover, but it was like, no, something's legitimately wrong. I somehow got super sick, probably from something I ate, or maybe because maybe just drinking 12 beers in a row makes your body fucked up for a week. I don't know, but yeah, that was like the only time I got sick during COVID.
Yeah, just a little bit of alcohol poisoning, that's all.
Does alcohol poisoning last a week?
Well, it could actually. I had a friend that lasted a while. He couldn't. He was like in high school. He had to sit up. Or sorry, if he sat up too quick, he would get dizzy. But like if he was sitting down and talking, he seemed sober up until he stood up. Well, he was kind of, I guess technically no, but I mean behavioral wise, yeah. Like yeah, there's a lot of alcohol in his system, but it wasn't like affecting his rational thinking unless he stood up.
That's what I mean. I feel like it shouldn't last a week.
Yeah, it just took a while for it to like filter out of his like blood or whatever. I remember him cracking a joke when I had to see him at the hospital. He's like, check this out. So he stood up because he knows every time he stands up he can't maintain his balance. And then he stood up and he's like having a hard time keeping up, and he like holds his hands out with his bent wrists like imitating Jackie Chan. He's like, look, drunken boxing. He like almost stumbles. Like
It sounds like
you could actually, it's funny because he wasn't actually drunk at that point, but like he's just making fun of the fact that like physically, just the fact that he didn't have the motor skills to like maintain his. The way that I say it makes it sound like he's shit faced, but he's not. This is like way after. It's just days after. So like.
That's what I mean. It's only more of an issue than anything. It's just like, hey, look at me. Aren't I drunk? And then you're just like. It's like one of those
Hey, you know
things
what
where you're admitting you have a problem so nobody else.
If I stand up, I look like a drunken idiot. I missed that part though. Apparently, he did some fun. Apparently, he did. My buddy couldn't. I don't even know what happened to this day. My friend could not tell me the story without fucking cracking up laughing. Anyways, he's okay. He's done better. It's never happened again. It was something we were able to laugh off afterwards, so it's pretty fun.
I'm gonna start doing that whenever I'm drunk. Wait, he was 15?
Yeah. Yeah. 15 or 14, one of the two, I forget.
I was like
Pretty
8.
sure.
I was like wasted when I was 8. Got high at 9. Off coke.
Wait, seriously? You hit a line? Someone left a line out?
No,
Like,
I was kidding.
oh, I was like, I don't know, because when you have parents that are trying to party while they're baking, you can mix up the flour with when you go with things on the counter and you do a line, you go for a second one, and then you realize you mixed it with all the flour from what you're trying to bake, and you're just like, fuck it, and just
And then your kid's like jumping all over the flour.
Just hit a line, just straight flour.
I had a roommate who was like down. She liked to party a lot, and in the middle of the summer, she was down in the basement. And she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm just hanging out with a couple of friends." And I went down there, and they're playing Cards Against Humanity. And one guy was shirtless. They were all kind of sweating, but it was like the middle of summer, so I was like, okay, whatever. I guess they're all just kind of drunk. They just kind of like to drink in the middle of the day. And the cat comes downstairs and jumps on the table, and a big cloud appears around the cat. And they all start freaking out, being like, "Oh shit, the cat's jumping in it! The cat's jumping in it!" And they're all getting the cat off the table. And then I realized real quick why. They're all downstairs, bugger-eyed and sweating.
Oh my god. Fuck. Okay, well, be cool. We're playing Cards Against Humanity. Be cool.
And one guy's just staring at his one card that says "Do a line of coke."
He's just like,
The other guy's using the cards to cut the line.
Oh god. Guess what came out this year?
What was that?
Cocaine Cougar.
Cougar. I knew Cocaine Crocodile's coming out.
It's
And
basically just a middle-aged Karen on cocaine. So she's like quadruple times the Karen.
Speaking
But
of,
she's horny. She's like, I want to speak to your manager. Show me who's in charge.
you know what's in pre-production right now?
Oh no.
Amityville Cocaine Bear.
Wait, legit?
I will send you a link to this right now.
What? They didn't even think of another animal? They just fucking use a bear?
No, they didn't even go like Amityville, like Cocaine House or something like that.
Yeah. It's just basically, it's just a crack house.
It's just,
All the weird noises you're hearing are just the people in the walls extracting the copper pipes.
I would love that actually. That would be so much better.
They just think the house is haunted, but they're really it's just a crack house.
I don't get why they didn't do that.
Why? Is it just like about people who fucking doing drugs while camping, and a bear comes, helps himself, and they run to the nearby house? Which, for some reason, is that... Sorry, is the Amityville house, is it like, in the first movie, is it kind of like on a countryside, or is it literally on a street block surrounded by other houses?
It's kind of like the Burbs-ish, like a nice Burbs-ish by a lake.
Oh, I see.
It's not exactly in a countryside. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a neighborhood around New York, basically.
It's like when you didn't invite your neighbor Fred over for casserole, and you might as well just be 1,000 miles away at that point. Where you run over your neighbor's cat one time, and then they refuse to call the police when you ask. Because it's for... oh, no data, because it's in development. We can't even learn what it's about.
There's a lot of movies in development.
It looks so stupid though. What are they using for the bear? Is it just gonna be like? Is it gonna be like a poorly cropped, like pre-animated thing, just on repeat, or is it gonna be like close-ups of bears from other clips, or is it just straight just gonna be a picture of a bear?
I'm hoping they either
Or all of the above.
they're either gonna get like a guy in a bear costume,
Like,
or they're just like gonna superimpose footage of a bear.
honestly, I can dig the bear at the guy in the bear costume. I want to see the bear do something absurd then. Like, I want to see it, like, opening a fridge, like a man or something, or, like, typing in a microwave, or it's like, it's okay, bears can't use doorknobs. Just shows the bear going through keys.
Clever girl. I wanted to play a little game with you before we actually get going and doing anything.
Okay.
Or we'll start off like with a little bit of a game, and then at the end we're gonna come back around to it because I'm gonna give you time to think about it.
Okay.
So you remember the Slender Man stabbings from how many years ago was it?
Was it Slenderman, or was it that girl with the... There's like, what's that one's name with the bulgy eyes and straight mouth? Thin hair. There's a few. Unfortunately, that sucks to say. There is a few. I'm sure there was a Slenderman one.
Holy shit, it was in 2014. I thought it was only like a few years ago.
Oh, there was definitely one before that. I remember one from when I was like earlier in high school.
In 2014, two 12-year-old girls lured their friend into the forest and stabbed her 19 times in an attempt to appease the fictional character Slender Man.
Unfortunately, I feel like I've heard of another similar story from even before that one.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened before and
that's
after.
common.
That dude like cut off the other guy's head in the bus. But okay, so the game is people discovered Slender Man is real, and they're actually bringing him to court to make him pay for that crime. So the game is going to be basically, once we're done here, you're going to be the judge, and I want you to talk to me, the lawyer, about the final sentence about everything. I'll give you time to think of what you're going to say, and I'll think of what I'm going to say. So after we're done discussing the movie, we're going to come back and do the Slender Man stabbings in court.
Okay.
So I'll be Slender Man's lawyer, you be the judge, who has the final verdict. But first, we're going to talk about this amazing movie, Amityville In Space.
Yes, this totally out of this world movie.
This movie we just watched recently and not 3 months ago.
Yes, yes. I totally just finished watching this like last night.
I'm hoping I'll remember what my notes say from yesterday and not
Yes,
back
I
in
too
April.
have my notes here. Hear that paper? Yes,
It's the notes.
the notes. Yeah, it's like what I love about some low budget B-rated films. It's like it's people doing what they want to do, which makes it so when it's more absurd, it's just more entertaining to watch. And occasionally, you actually get something that's pretty good. But this, I feel like this was not much different than like classic Hollywood films or more modern Hollywood films. They're basically trying to make something, a piece of trash something within a limited amount of time to profit from. This is just on a much lower scale.
This feels like kind of what Sony's been doing with their big Marvel movies lately. They're just kind of like throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah, this is basically like the equivalent of like Fantastic Four, except the director did have full control. But then the director also cares just about as much as the producers, so that's about the equivalent.
His budget was also only $2,000.
The only difference is I will actually take the time to watch Amityville In Space and not that last Fantastic Four film, because I still have not seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
No, I have zero interest.
Seen that scene with Jim from The Office playing Mr. Fantastic more than I've seen the last Fantastic Four movie.
Yes! Yes.
Wanda, this is the what did he say? This is Black Bolt. His one power is his mouth. Don't take it away.
Anyways, yeah. Amityville.
Amityville
Space.
is space.
Yeah, Priest. I don't know where to start with this. It's all over the place, honestly.
This movie starts off with just like a news team surrounding the Amityville house. And there's like a shitty ghost face appearing in the window, and the wonderful news reporter is just like, something's about to go down, as this fake snow comes across the screen.
It's basically like if you were the only person left on your block to celebrate Halloween.
Yeah, pretty much. Like all the lights going up.
Everyone all starts crowding around.
This is a Christian neighborhood.
There's mangled corpses outside. It's just plastic ornaments. Look, there's people dying all around, and it's like, well, yeah, he's not a decoration. That's our old neighbor Hank, who just had a heart attack raking the leaves about 2 weeks ago, and no one's called anybody for him yet. But sure, we'll call him a Halloween decoration.
This is the way Hank always wanted to go out. Becoming food for his grass.
Fertilizer. Hank's fresh fertilizer. Get it while it's not rot? I don't know. Get it while it's rot.
My favorite part is there's like big deadlights coming in and out of the windows, and then the door closes on its own, and the
oh yeah, and people get like scared when the
door closed on its own. But I think the priest goes inside the house first, though.
Yeah, and then his hand like spins out of control and goes flying off of his arm or something.
Yeah, he's standing around, and that's probably the best effect of the movie too. But he's standing around going like, demon be gone," and his hand just spins around like a Beyblade and goes flying off.
I feel like it'd be a good ad for like a hand lotion commercial. It'd be like, "Has this ever happened to you?" Ah! Ah! It's just hand spinning and more shoots off. Ah!
If so,
call this number today and we'll give you our hand restoration cream. Super glue not included.
I have in my notes underneath his hand goes flying off. It just says best actor ever.
He really is, though. I mean, compared to everyone else in the movie. Oh, he also has this like little bottle of holy water, but because for anybody that knows a priest carrying a bottle of water, in case they don't know, they went and they labeled it holy water.
So. It's just like basically a little sanitizer bottle.
Yeah. Or maybe it's a prop or something they picked up from like a costume store out of a kid's toy bin or something. They couldn't use like a thing of cologne or nothing, or like an actual little glass bottle, or even an empty Mickey, honestly. You just paint the cap gold. No, they just went and had that labeled holy water. Oh yeah, when the ghost talks, yeah, it's basically just like late 90s, early 2000s. If you had somebody try and talk all mysterious and sounds heavily distorted,
it's like
type of deal. Like you're gargling on a bunch of marbles with static. That's what it sounds like.
It's like the kid who thinks he's the dark emo kid who talks to Satan.
Oh yeah, like that. Who never even took a chance to read the Bible. You should read. I think you should understand both sides of the line if you're going to cross over. I don't know.
You need to read the Christian Bible and the atheist Bible.
Yeah, and the atheist Bible, which whatever
is Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. There we go. Atheist Bible. Or like any did you know fact videos from like scrolling through TikTok or Instagram.
That's the one thing TikTok is known for, is just being full of atheists drinking their Grimace shakes.
Oh god.
The only thing I believe in is Grimace.
I looked at the videos of how to make one at home, and the one at home just looks, it's like full of berries and stuff. I'm pretty sure it's not what they're using for the in-store one, but it actually looked good. I was like, oh, that's basically just it's like taking a fruit smoothie, and then you just add a scoop of ice cream is basically all it is. If you're to do it at home anyway.
You can't get it here anyways.
You can't?
No, they don't serve it in Canada.
Somebody I knew posted about a Grimace. Oh, they must be in the States. Oh, that's okay. We don't really need it.
I went down there and asked them for one, and then they were like, no, sir, we don't sell it here in Canada. And I freaked out on them. And I started screaming in the middle of the McDonald's because I was like, I want to go outside and pour this all over the parking lot and myself and make a funny TikTok video, and you guys aren't allowing me to do that. And
the ones that get really creative are the ones that'll do it like at a park or like in the woods or whatever, and they have like bodies and stuff floating in the water. Those ones are funny. But the ones where people just make a whole mess on the park bench just outside the McDonald's, I'm just like picturing the employee coming out after the same employee that served them, like right before closing, and they're just cleaning up the place, and they step outside, they're there with their broom and their mop, and they're just like, just do a sigh, like a fuck my life type of sigh, and they just go back in and say fuck it.
My
Little
favorite
bite of
one-
Chili's.
My favorite one I saw was like, it didn't just hard cut to the person being dead. She was just like, oh, you want me to try this Grimace shake? And then she drank the Grimace shake, and instead of, she started acting like she was addicted to it. And she's like, oh my god, this is amazing. She's pouring it all over herself. And then the person who's holding the camera turns it around. It's like a half-mutant Grimace person.
Nice.
I'm gonna see if I can send that to you.
Please. I must see this. Sound like ones like that. The ones you can't predict them. I don't like all the others where everyone's copying each other.
That's the thing, yeah, it's just the same thing every time.
It's basically what the world is now, is one person does something that's semi-creative and everyone else is like, hey, look at me, I can do it too. Look at me, Dad! It's kind of like everyone's like your least favorite kid. The one that is like secretly adopted, but you don't want to tell him because you know you're worried about, like, he's already got low self-esteem issues as it is. Because you already treat him like shit. You're just thinking, why kick him while he's down, right? So you support your own kids, but you just give zero fucks about it. Basically the internet. So last week, I almost killed myself, and I'm like, oh, cool. Scroll.
I saw Twitter blew up the other day, and it was like, Markiplier's back in the hospital, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I still... People keep mentioning that name to me, and I don't understand why. I've had two people say that I look like him, and I look at the picture, and I'm thinking, what the hell are you guys smoking? Because obviously I don't get to see myself every day, but I do get to pull up a picture of myself and then compare them side by side. Personally, I think I look like the result of like a Mexican gardener after he slept with your wife. So you're wondering why your kid never needs to wear sunscreen? When you always get like... when you're always prone to...
I think we could dress you up like Markiplier and just steal his face.
One incriminating Mark plan later.
You mean you're not going to be going around apologizing and pulling out a ukulele? I think we should do that to defame him, is we dress you up like Markiplier since you look exactly like him. You pull out a ukulele and play it on the video. And talk about how you don't groom kids, you just groom cats.
Yeah, next to the Oriental restaurant, yes.
Hello everybody, it's Markiplier, and I'm gonna play my ukulele to explain why you're wrong and I'm not a... That sounds amazing. Can we do this now?
I mean, I don't know how I feel about portraying, but
No, it's okay. That one guy plays Freddy Krueger.
yeah, but see, killing kids and trying to and like flirting with them are two entirely different things, though.
I mean, he wasn't just killing kids. There's no way he was just killing kids.
Yeah, but I mean that's all they were showing on the movie, though. They never showed him like touching or hugging or caressing or even so much as looking at a kid, really, unless he was chasing some leads.
That's the one line for the movie too. Is parents team up to burn. Hopefully he doesn't come back.
You think the reason he kills him is just because like every other part of his body is just burnt to a crisp? Because wouldn't it make more sense for a guy that can control his dreams to kids rather than just murdering them?
I think he was just bored.
I like to think he just doesn't have a dick. That's my whole point. I'm not saying they should make a movie where they start kids. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm pretty sure the whole reason he's killing him is out of frustration for having his penis melted off. Just my 2 cents. That's what I think, anyway. I also think it would make more sense if he killed maybe the people that were kids at the time that are now adults from when he was doing his shit. No, wait. Sorry, I'm getting 2 movies mixed up. No, that's exactly what he was doing. He was going after the kids that he was... Yeah.
I don't know if we can keep any of this. We might have to cut that.
But they made the movies, not me! I don't... It's not like it has like a huge fan base of like over 1 million people or nothing. I don't know. It's Freddy Krueger. Look at Jeepers Creepers. That movie was literally made by a fucking...
Yeah, see, that's the difference. Freddy Krueger's a fake. That guy was a real. Okay, speaking of. So the priest prays.
Oh god. Yes. Not that kind of priest though, folks. He's only got one hand.
Yeah, his one-handed priest prays for the Amityville house to get sent into space. I have in my notes here too that probably just wanted to go to space. It is the most amazing thing just watching this JPEG of a house go off into space as this news reporter watches it.
It's basically like if you ever wanted to be an astronaut, but your parents were hardcore Catholic, and then out of all those years of like Bible school and whatever, now you find yourself owning your own church and you're a priest, and you're like, this is my time to shine. You want to see if you can be like a Catholic astronaut. With the ghost house as his vessel. Oh, can we backtrack to like one of the cops that was outside, where they're kind of blocking off the house that no one was trying to enter?
The one that you sent me the picture of.
Yeah. So you basically have this guy with a leather jacket with a badge. He looks like one of those stereotypical like good guy, bad guy detectives out of a comedy. He's got rolled up sleeves, and is he wearing like a slouch hat, kind of like what they wear in the military? Sunglasses at night, with a cigar in his mouth.
And he was like the first one to run away too as soon as anything happened with the house.
He's like, oh no, these poorly done snow after effects. I'm not wearing my cropped coat.
Snow effect going over the screen the entire time.
Yeah, it's basically just a bunch of blurred circles dropping down in front of everything. Which didn't make any sense. I don't know why they had to make it snowing.
No, it really didn't have to snow. I don't think they...
No, they could have saved some time on it.
The present day doesn't matter in this movie.
No. All you need to know is that it goes to, I think, the year 3015.
Yeah, it's the year 3015.
The house has been in space for like 1,000 years.
The beginning and the ending of this movie is just kind of like a crapshoot compared to the rest. Unless they make a sequel, but we'll get to the ending later. But we go onto the ship called the Wyoming 227. I don't know where this came from, but I have written down here, in quotations, space stress. I don't know what space stress had to do with anything. Somebody at some point said space stress. From this movie we watched yesterday and not 4 months ago.
Yes. Let's see. Oh! Sorry, that cop, sorry I have to backtrack. I have in quotes here for his line, "What the fuck is going on here?" as the house starts levitating.
His one line.
Yeah, I was actually really thinking... Yeah, I really thought he was going to be one of the main characters of the film. I was hoping it would have went in after the priest before the house levitated.
So when they go to space, they have a bunch of crewmates. They have a robot named Vox that everyone hates for some reason.
I think it's standard that everyone hates on the protocol droid. Like an alien or a 3PO.
He like makes jokes at them too. He's like, how do you kill a Canadian fox? You cut off its leg and make it run cross country.
Holy... Oh! Holy fuck.
They're like, Fox, that's horrible.
Yeah.
So do you want to say why... what their reason for flying around in space is?
Okay, so 1,000 years later, this house is still floating in space, and it gets stumbled upon by a space crew whose sole purpose and job is to fly around space and send nukes to destroy black holes.
Nukes to destroy black holes. I love it.
Yeah, making space in space. Because, I don't know, it just sounds like the most absurd American thing I could think of. Sure.
Yeah,
that was my first thought. I was like, oh, that's very American of you. Very America.
Yeah, they're like, there's something out there we can blow up. Give them guns and we just shoot the thing in space.
To be fair, though, I don't know if I want to be on that voyage, but I would definitely like to see what would happen if you were to fire a nuke into a black hole. I think that'd be kind of entertaining.
Maybe we just keep going the way of being like Americans and just being like, no, we're just going to go blow everything up and we're not going to worry about it. We don't need to see any footage of it. There's just a spaceship in space blowing up black holes as we speak. And literally everyone signs up for it because they all just want to go shoot black holes.
What color did you say that hole was?
It's like when they signed up people to go move to Mars. They were supposed to do that for 2023, I remember. 2023 was going to be the year, I think, right? 2023 or 2024? They were going to colonize Mars. They were planning on colonizing Mars. But this was like 10 years before. Sorry?
Elon Musk got too involved in Twitter, so he got distracted.
Yeah, he got sidetracked, yeah. Social media, once again. It's on a backtrack.
Supposed to colonize Mars. 2030s or 2040s. So like 15 years from now.
I also don't know how that would work. Like, do they have any minerals or planetary resources you can use for building on Mars?
I mean, I don't know why we would want to colonize Mars.
Yeah, I think
kind of
it's
like a prison thing.
Yeah, somebody brought up where it's like, with how much money and effort that they're spending and just the research and studies for that, you could probably add a few extra years on Earth's life cycle by investing that in other things. Like, you know, it's kind of like how they make like a... I think I saw something like the budget of like... It was a big budget movie, but compared to like launching like a NASA space mission, the budget for that, it was like... I mean, you're making more money with the movie, but... Sorry?
Then you are going to Mars?
No. I just think it's... We live at that point now where it's more like, you can... People will spend more money on making a film than interstellar space travel or whatever. I remember as a kid that was going to be the big thing, like space travel. Pretty sure it's something we dreamed about since the 60s, but... You know, I think it's crazy how in the 60s... Was it the 60s? Was that when the first moon landing was?
I think so.
The time of the first moon landing, when they were still using, like, film on cameras, I believe. I don't think they had that constant visual. Yeah. Like, the fact that people were able to put their resources together and still make a hunk of tin that could send you to the moon and survive, compared to what we have now. I like to think what we have now is way more technologically advanced. It just doesn't. It seems just not as practical to use. Like, you would think, like 60 years later, like, oh, look where we were 60 years before. I wonder where we'll be 60 years in the future. And it's just kids on those two-wheel boats, hoverboard things going around, and people screaming over their Roblox.
Okay, but Roblox is fucking cool, so, you know.
Bitcoin! This shit's revolutionary!
I'm gonna play some Fortnite now.
I don't understand the world. I really don't.
So there's this amazing picture, and I'm gonna put it up on screen, but they find the house that just is floating in space above a black hole, and a symbol of Satan just floats around the house as well. And
it's a cutout picture of a pentagram.
It's so beautiful. Like, I love that picture. I have it saved on my phone somewhere.
It looks like something that somebody, like, if you had that as a screensaver, somebody would have just thought you did it yourself. That would be the first thought. Someone's like, "Oh, what did you make there? It looks unfinished." You'd be like, "This wasn't a movie, good sir."
So the girl Nermi is her name. She's walking around this ship while they're next to this haunted house. She walks through like a green screen hall too. You know how whenever they travel the ship, it's on a shitty green screen?
Yeah.
And she's like, as she's going down the hall, immediately assumes a ghost is after her.
Yeah, I have written here, lady attacked by heavy breathing ghost tentacles.
Oh yeah, I forgot there were tentacles that got around her.
Yeah. And then because, you know, you can't have a space movie without a girl being attacked by some multi-limbed alien form, alien entity.
So she goes up to the captain and she's just straight up like, yeah, I just got like it was Evil Dead. And the captain says his catchphrase, which he says a lot through the movie, which is just a deadpan, what?
Oh, we should also mention their little droid robot guy that they have. I think it's just a dude wearing like a silver mask, kind of like King of Cobra, like the Cobra Commander mask with like a hoodie up.
This movie's such a shitstorm.
It is. And what I found hilarious, because it's something that, you know, a lot of us people who make like close to no budget films would suffer from, is the reflections. So if you were to pause the movie and you look at his face, his chrome face, you would see two guys standing across from him with a camera on a tripod on like a kitchen table or some shit. But you can see it. It's funny because they didn't even try anything with angles or whatever. You just straight up to see it. Like they're just there.
He has the best line in the movie too, where he says, he calls like the Amityville house a primitive living quarters because no one knows what it is. And as he calls it a primitive living quarters, you can just see like the tinfoil that they put on the walls to make it look like a spaceship just moving.
Yeah. You know, honestly, yeah, you put one sheet of tinfoil over a window and be like, "Whoa, where am I?"
Am I in space? So they,
yes, that is how they made things futuristic. Is you need your chrome, and if you don't have your chrome, you use your tinfoil.
That's how they made Zathura.
I've never seen Zathura.
It's alright.
Is the one where the kid fights a toy robot thing in a house in space?
Yeah, it's basically like Jumanji in space.
Oh, okay.
Like it's straight up Jumanji in space. So they send the robot to the haunted house because they're all too scared to go to the haunted house.
Yeah.
And we learn pretty quickly that ghosts can haunt robots because the
yes,
robots are
yes.
seeing hallucinations.
I have it here. His name is Vox,
Mm-hmm.
and he can see ghosts.
But when he sees ghosts, the people who are looking through his camera can't see the ghosts. So that means he's being haunted by the ghosts.
Right. Yeah, nobody that can see what the robot sees can see the ghosts, but the robot can, somehow. Just the robot.
We also learned that ghosts can kill robots too, because the ghost kills the robot.
Yes. Deactivate him, I think is the proper term. Oh yeah, zero gun safety I have here. I guess when the crew decides to board the ship, which is kind of board the ship. When the crew decides to board the house, not board up, but go to the house.
The house that floats in the middle of space.
Yeah, zero gun safety I got put here. They basically have like these bulky prop guns that are like spray painted. I think they're spray painted red. One of them looks like it could be like an arcade shooter type of gun. So one of them's got like a flashlight mount on it, and another one has a flashlight mount, but the flashlight is like shining the floor, like just straight to the floor. So you can imagine if you were to hold the gun straight, and your light would be illuminating your shoes, not what's in front of you. That's basically what one of the guns is doing. They find. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say they make like dumb, stupid Goldilocks bullshit jokes the entire time they're in there, and it lasts for like 10 minutes. Every time they see something, they're like, I guess you could say they were a little fridged in this house, or something like that whenever they see something. They just make like the dumbest bullshit jokes every single time.
In the future, people just forget everything of what people used to use to live back then. Like, what is a table? What are these things? Chairs?
This is one funny part too, where the hand goes by, like the priest's hand is still there, and it runs by them, and one of them is just like, I saw a hand scuttle. And of course the captain says, what?
Oh, guess where they find the priest? In the fucking
in the
closet.
closet.
Yes. As if that's not symbolism for something.
Sorry, real quick. They find Vox on the ground, and they're like, Vox is in pieces. And it's like, no, the actor's just lying on the ground.
Yeah, the mask was too tight, he couldn't breathe.
They find the priest in the closet, and they don't really know if he's dead or anything like that. They just kind of like bring him back onto the ship.
Yeah.
The ghost is also kind of like fucking with them while they're on the house, and it's not really clear what the ghost's end goal is here. Like, it's just kind of in space now. What are you doing? You're just gonna fuck with astronauts? Like, you're...
They don't even wear, like... They don't even wear any helmets. It's just, like... I get it's a low-budget film, but they don't wear, like, anything. Just kind of go aboard just wearing, like, flight suits. And guns. Like, that's the only equipment they bring are their guns.
Like, we're gonna need this just in case.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're American. Like, I just can't. Yeah, their depiction of the ghost too. It's basically just a dude doing, like, if you were to imagine somebody wearing, like, Sith cosplay, like a cheap Sith outfit. He force chokes somebody. I put here he's force choking people. So I'm sure there's a bit where this ghost is choking somebody holding their hand out.
Oh yeah, he's amazing too. He's wearing a shitty Halloween mask, and then he's got a ninja mask on top of the Halloween mask.
Yeah.
You can't see the Halloween mask's face.
He's a Sith. That's all the Sith dress.
He also has human hands. That's my favorite part of it, is just like white hands sticking out of it. Because everyone in this movie is white for some reason.
You'd think they would have at least had some mitts or gloves hanging around, you know. But, yeah, no, they didn't. They couldn't afford the gloves.
The priest wakes up in the ship, and this ship is a ship that launches nukes. And he just starts wandering around the ship, and nobody's able to stop him.
Yeah. So wandering, one-handed priest. He's like, I did it! I single-handedly made it to space! And the future?
This is what I wanted the entire time. I like how the one guy finds him and is ready to fucking like shoot him in the face. He's like, a man of the cloth.
Oh, is there a line? I think I have in quotes here. There's a line that he's, thanks for lending me a hand. I forgot the context of it though. That was one of the lines. There we go. Going back to like those stupid cheesy one-liners, this is one of them.
Oh yeah, they're making the dumb jokes in the house. Oh, I have his name. His name's Father Benna. Because they tell Father Benna that, yeah, no, this is 1,000 years later. Like, you've been inside this crappy house for 1,000 years in space. And he doesn't really react to it. He's just like, another normal day, I guess.
Everything I know and love has perished since then, but it's okay.
Well, they're also very accepting, because he tells them that he just asked God to throw the house into space.
Yeah, he didn't ask to, like, destroy the entity or get rid of it. Just throw it into space with him inside.
Yeah, he was like, this is the only way we can get rid of the evil. If we just
this was the only solution!
Because I think the captain... Oh yeah, the captain's, like, sitting at his Apple Mac. You can also see, like, a garbage can with a little plastic bag underneath the desk of the Apple. But then he starts getting tortured by... Yeah, before anyone gets possessed, I think they all start getting, like, haunted and tortured by the ghost. After, like, they all have, like, nightmares. And the one guy gets tortured and he wakes up and his immediate response is like, what the fuck?
I remember there's a bit... I wrote a bit here of a guy getting shot, but he's giving the finger as he's getting shot. Just how I'd want to go down, honestly, if I were to be gunned up. You know what I think about you shooting me?
Just flips him off. Oh, apparently the...
Any last words? Yeah! One!
Here's what I think, and you can spin on it. Yeah, so the demon tells the father like what his whole plan is, which is essentially just to take over space. And he says back to him, "No, there's goodness. It's okay. There's good in the space. There's not just evil. There's black holes and goodness." um, Yeah, I think like that's like half the movie is just them getting possessed and the priest telling the demon, "Yeah, no, you can't stop us. We're good, and you were bad, and good always triumphs over bad. Haven't you ever seen an Amityville movie?" But yeah, I think after he kills like half the people, like the demon possesses somebody and kills everyone. Yeah, I have the note here too. Yeah, he flips off the. I haven't noted that Maitland flips off the demon. He is the only consistent character in this movie.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
oh, and they don't blow up the house. Do they? No, they destroy.
No, the priest tells them they should blow up the house. And they go, "Okay." So they go onto the house to set up like a bunch of bombs for some reason.
Yeah.
They go onto the house, the priest goes with the two people, and they pull up machine guns and just blow his hand into paste when it's running around. Once again, all Evil Dead style. And then the best thing happens. The priest bends down and finds his little alcohol bottle of holy water that says holy water on it. And then we have this wonderful creature. Do you remember the potato monster that shows up?
Oh fuck! I forgot about that.
That shows up for like 2 seconds.
Yes, it like chases them up the stairs or whatever.
It's chasing them. And then the priest throws holy water on it and it just disappears.
Yeah.
It's so just like, it's the only thing that looks like they spent any money on for this entire movie, and he just disappears. And then I think
that was actually surprising that they even had that in there. I was like, whoa, someone put some minimal effort into this film.
not much because it's only there
Not
for like 10 seconds. I like to the captain once again says, "What was that? What?" What? I think Jackowitz is the guy who's possessed. I have written down here too, what the hell is Jackowitz's job on the ship? Because I think his only job was to get possessed.
He spread it. There's an intercom lady that he talks from across the galaxy and possesses her like remotely somehow.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That the one captain lady is talking to them the entire time, and she gets possessed over her Zoom call.
Yeah.
They get back on the ship, blow up the house, and then they beat the shit out of the possessed guy. I think the priest throws holy water in his face.
Oh, yeah, that was my favorite clip where they come in and they're all fighting with the guy, and I think somebody straight up, he's like, "Hey!" Priest throws water at his face, and while he's screaming, and then somebody else just punches him. Just. Hey! Ah! He just gets punched. And then a still shot of one of the crew members just looking into nothing, and then a bunch of weird beep boop effects, and then their house exploding.
Oh, yeah,
and then
the house gets
Phantom
exploded.
Ghost doing his distorted scream, going whoa, whoa.
It's not over yet though, because he gets the missile still launched off.
Yeah.
The funny thing is though, they launch a missile, but it never explains where it's going. Because they're in the middle of space. Like, there's nothing around there. And if it destroys, if it does go to Earth and destroy it, then what's the demon gonna do? Just roll over nothing? For some reason, it's the priest of all people that says that, "Can you just alter the nuke's direction?" And the captain's like, "What?" And then just does it. I like how the ship was like getting pulled into the black hole too, and someone was like, "Do you think if we pray the ship won't get pulled into the black hole?" And it's like, you know what, probably, by this movie's logic, yeah, I think so.
I feel like if you just told them you're gonna do a makeshift bomb to like, and then do your calculations so at the blast, and you can kind of steer the ship back home, just trajectory of the blast in space, I'm sure they would do some stupid shit like that. But
I think it said they actually do just stand there and pray.
Yeah, no, they do that instead.
But yeah, they get the missile to go back and hit the big pentagram in the sky. The priestess says to the somehow lures the demon into the teleporter so they can get teleported into space. Do you remember this wonderful shot of Father Bana and Demon Legion or whatever the hell his name is just choking each other in front of the green screen of space? And then the captain does what he does best and then shoots them. Because that demon don't look like us, and then he just shoots them and blows them up in the middle of space. The ship does get sucked into the black hole because for some reason praying for the ship to not get sucked into the black hole doesn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. No, yeah.
And then that girl who's possessed is just continuously possessed, and everyone in the galaxy is fucked.
Oh yes, the general person from the screen. Yeah.
And that's just kind of like the movie. That is the wonderful, wonderful movie of Amityville in Space.
Yeah. Yeah, Amityville in Space. Woo! But you know what? It wasn't a Neil Breen film, so we have that to thank it for.
I think so far, out of all the Amityville movies we've watched, this is the best one.
Oh God.
This is this is the best one so far.
Oh, there's so many. Scrolling.
If you count all the ones in pre-production, from what I could find anyway, there's over 100.
Over 100. Woo!
Don't worry, we've only got 100 episodes to go.
Okay. What's our next one again?
It is.
I keep asking, but I keep forgetting.
Don't worry, we talked about it a couple days ago, not 3 months ago.
Yes.
The Amityville Terror, which should also be on Tubi, from what I've checked last.
I am looking it up.
Oh,
Great.
If anyone wants to watch these, most of them are on Tubi.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of them on YouTube.
Amity in the Hood.
That will be a one.
Yeah. Amityville. Yeah. Amityville Island?
I think that's a newer one, but yeah, that's one of them too.
Evil Exorcism.
Oh, yeah, the Ryan Reynolds one is on Netflix. Or not Netflix, Tubi. Yeah, most of them are on Tubi, including Amityville Karen. That's actually what kind of like made me kind of want to make this podcast was I just saw a picture of Amityville Karen one day, and I was like, how many Amityville movies are there? And then when I actually looked into it and found out how many Amityville movies there were, I was like, okay, well, that's an idea for us to do.
Yeah.
What would you rank this movie?
Oh, jeez. Don't watch it sober. Yeah. This is one of those movies where if you're watching it just on your own free time without doing anything else, yeah, you might have some issues. Not gonna lie. But if you're doing it with your friends, or if you're doing it to get high and have fun with yourself, that's cool too. I mean, drunk. But, yeah, no. It is definitely a movie that has some form, that might make you feel some form of depression after finishing, but it does have its moments. I saved a clip as one of my favorites. That's with where they go to the control center and douse the guy with holy water and punch him in the face. That was my favorite bit because there's just so much going on with all the quick cuts back and forth from the house and the ship, and it's just when people ask me what the movie was like, I just showed them that clip on my phone. They're like, "What the hell?" I was like, "It's like there's not a lot going on, but there's so much at the same time." So it has its moments.
I think for me, it's always the picture of the ship in front of the house above the black hole with the pentagram in the sky all at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the people that made it cared less about it than we did watching it.
Yeah, I think we put more work into editing this.
They're like, we need our DVD sales.
Real quick, all the Hell House movies are on Tubi. If you've never seen them, you should watch just the first one.
House.
Hell House LLC. Watch just the first one. The other two are kind of shit. No
Okay.
offense to the guy who made Hell House. I know he put a lot of work into it. But Hell House 2 is fucking awful.
That's how it goes with sequels.
So next time we'll be watching the next movie, which was fucking, I can't remember what it was now. I just told you.
Terror or something? Amityville something?
I think it was the
Terror.
Amityville Terror. Yeah, the Amityville Terror. We're gonna watch the Amityville Terror.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of these are on Tubi, so if anyone ever wants to watch along, you just watch on Tubi. And then yeah, I guess if you remember what I brought up at the beginning of this episode, our Slender Man bit,
Oh yes.
where
Yes.
I am the lawyer for Slender Man, defending him after he's getting blamed for those two girls stabbing their friend, and you are the judge. So if you wanted to open up by saying, you know, giving me a chance to make any last statement before you give your judgment.
Sure.
And then yeah, let's get into it. So you
Alrighty.
okay? Let's hear this.
Order in the court. Okay, go ahead. How does the defendant plead?
So I've been trying to talk my defendant down this entire time, but as his lawyer, I highly suggest he's not doing this, but he feels that he can plead for himself. I just want to say that I will let him speak, but after this, if you let me say that we're going to plead insanity for our client, just because he's not going to listen to me on this, and I really think that he is not in the proper mind to speak, but I am going to allow him to say what he's going to say right away. So Mr. Judge, Just Kal, I will turn over and let my client Slenderman say what he's going to say.
A lot of people here think that I'm some kind of reality-warping, child-attacking demon that made those girls stab their friend.
Slender Man reaches his ridiculously long arm into his ridiculously long pocket.
But I stand here before the court today to say something. So my PR team told me I probably shouldn't make any statements,
Pulls out ukulele.
but they didn't say I couldn't sing it.
Oh god.
Hey, I don't really have a face. I haven't been doing so well, so I found some bones to break. A lot of trolls are saying things about me that aren't quite true. Doesn't matter if it's true as long as it's terrifying to you. Right? You kids are so fucking done. All aboard the toxic gossip train, chugging down the tracks of scary hallucination. I will drive you insane. Got one step, pitch it to isolation station. Now it's time to end the charade. Invite a demon into courtroom and fucking devour all your souls, whatever the is I actually fucking do. Twist it up and grind it, add some lies to it, and pulverize it, and stab it with knives and ruin a life. And
Slender Man looks around courtroom. He realizes he's killed everyone.
Hello, executive producer Tab Datul here. Amityville Nimrods is hosted by Kal and Ruby J, as well as edited by Ruby. This show is brought to you by bringing your report card full of B-minuses to the nearest Blockbuster and hope they feel bad enough for you to give you a free game, despite not getting a single score above 80. Too smart to fail, too dumb for the honor roll. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure to leave us a review and share it with your friends, family, loved ones, and people on the bus. Tune in next week when these two pricks watch The Amityville Terror. Good night, and God bless.
I know you wanted me to say that I was 100% in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take that route. Admitting to lies and rumors that you made up for clout. What do I know? Fuck me, right?